team, what is up? Welcome to Motosumo. My name is Ben and I'm going to be your instructor for today, team. I am streaming to you all the way from London in the UK to wherever you are in the world, team. We are international. That's what we love. This is your endurance ride, team. So basically endurance ride, endurance game means basically it's just sort of, as the name suggests, it's an endurance. So it's basically like long rounds and everything. We want to keep that sort of intensity sort of medium. We don't want to be going crazy at any point. In fact, keeping the intensity slightly low in the normal, but moving as long as we can. So we're going to be hitting long speed endurance or hills as well, team. But let's kick things off. I'm going to put some bangers on, team. I'm going to go for this in 6, in 5, love it, 4, 3, 2, 1, resistance 0, let's go. Resistance 0. Is where we're at right now. Just getting them legs moving around. So the reason we start in resistance 0 is because we want to be at that same point. We just want to be moving those legs around. Not doing anything too crazy for now. We're just basing ourselves. We set ourselves at that resistance 0. But when we come out of it, so appreciate the music. We never come back to this. Never come back to this resistance 0 because it's obviously too low. You feel in those legs that it is just too low. Because you can move those legs far too easily and we get in the red zone far too easily. So let's bring it up to that resistance 1. Just take it to where you think that resistance 1 should be right now, team. Minute on the clock. Let's go. One of my favorite songs at the moment, team. So we're just holding that minute-long push pace. You know, it's any time we go into that sort of red bar above us, that means go time. The green means rest. Well, I'm just going to be talking through that entire time, so don't you worry about that. But right now, we're in that push pace. Whatever that push pace means to you in this moment in time, today, this evening, whenever you're doing this. So you're just holding it there. Nice, slowing it down, we pull it back. Cool, we're gonna build it up. We do that same thing again. We go for that. 3, 2, 1. Another minute on the clock. Remember that resistance 1 to you should feel easy. If this is your first time, remember that resistance 1 is the lowest we're ever going to come to. It's not the lowest on your bike, that's resistance 0. That's basically nothing. So we want to have something under there. So it's basically nice and easy for you to move those legs around, but you can feel something, you can feel a bit of resistance there. And that's the sort of stage we want to be at right now. That's the sort of stage we want to be at right now. And that's what we're doing. We've gone down the more electronic vibe today. So that's what you got. You got 45 minutes with me, so we're gonna go a little bit more electronic. And a bit more drum and bass right now. That's gonna get you in the mood, that's gonna wake you up. Woo. Nice, slowing that down. We're gonna go for one more of those in that resistance 1. You're gonna see if you can add 1 or 2 points onto that RPM. That's your aim. Feeling good about that? There we are. So we're gonna build it up, do that same thing again. Resistance 1, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good, I want you to check in. Now that we're getting through this warm-up, now that we're feeling good now, I want you to just see how you're feeling. How's the body right now? How's the mind right now? How has your mood been today, this week? I just want you to have a little think about that. You got 45 minutes with me, so we got time. So I want you to just check in with yourself. I want you to do this various times throughout this endurance game, throughout this class, with how you're doing. Nice, pulling it back. You don't always get that chance to check in with yourself, and I'm giving you that chance. And the reason I'm doing that is because that's going to change. It's going to change throughout this ride. Not that you're going to force it. I just want you to allow yourself to be open to whatever feelings come into you during this ride. At points it may get tough. You've got to let those feelings in. At points you sort of, the natural reaction to a lot of what we do now is like endorphins and adrenaline, and just let that all come into you as well. So when you just be aware of that, because remember, this is mood boosting stuff. Exercise puts you in that good mood, and that's exactly how we want it, team. Cool, let's bring it up. Resistance 2. So now how's that feel in those legs? Again, we're checking in physically now. So that resistance 2, we bring up again, and there's got to be a big enough jump to find that resistance 2 to take those legs around. Now we go for another push facing here, but now that we're getting a little bit warmer, we should be able to hit those same sort of numbers. And then we're not going mad now, these aren't sprints. So let's just take it into that next one. Resistance 2, minute on the clock, 3, 2, 1. I've brought that music down now, because you want to get hyped up, but then you just want to settle into this class. There's times where we're going to be doing long rounds, long hill climbs. Remember, I'm going to be doing them with you. I'm here with you that entire way. But you lot are the stars of this class. You lot are the ones. I'm just your guide. I'm your tour guide throughout this. And you're my willing participant. Hopefully willing. Just getting them legs moving around. Nice, another 15 seconds here. Just because that music drops a little bit doesn't mean the energy shit. It means we can still keep it high. Nice, slowing that down. Strong stuff. We go for another one in that resistance 2, team, but this time we do it on the track. And I don't want you going mad here, but this is just an opportunity for you to really get those legs going. So we're going to go into that little race. This is a perfect way of quantifying how far you're going, basically checking those meters of how far you're going. So we're going to go for about 75, 80% sort of intensity now. Remember, we're still sort of warming up. We've got plenty of time. It's mainly going to be in that main half an hour jump where we do those long rounds. But let's go for that. Resistance 2, we go in. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Just remember the aim of this, the point of this race, is just put a little marker on the board. So if you've got that distance meter, or even that power meter, you can sort of know how hard you pushed, how fast you went in that time. But the whole idea in general of your endurance game is that we work for long periods of time at a slightly lower intensity, which obviously means that during the first sort of 50%, 70% of your entire class, you're going to feel all right. You're going to feel all right. But when we get into that latter bit, when we get towards the end, like the last quarter or so, whew, things change. Things change, baby. 2, 1, slowing it down. Huge stuff. Nice. We're gonna move on from this bad boy. Let's come out of that. Find your resistance 3, team.
Hold on.
There we go. Find that resistance 3. Now this. Now you're actually getting into a bit of heavier now. You could be like at your back of your mind, you're like, oh, I reckon I could stand up in this. You can, we're not going to yet. Just gonna get another little minute under the belt in this new resistance to test this one out. Another minute going on the clock. Are you ready? Yeah, you are. 3, ready, go.
These mamas begging me for affection, but just like she darling, I live for natural selection. Never hugs or connections, I just constrict and reject them.
Let's do it. So now that's a bit thicker now, that's a bit stickier. We're talking a bit more like mud now, a bit more like having to grind your way through. You're wanting to chuck your body either side, but we don't. We want to keep that full nice and strong. I'm going to give us a minute now to figure this out. So that gentle bend in those arms, elbows tilted in, leaning forward a little bit. So squeezing between those shoulder blades. And here, keeping that core really nice and strong. You're kicking out and pulling back, kicking out and pulling back. Keeping everything nice and together. And that's how we want it. Kick out, pull back, kick out, pull back. So you got everything from about your head to your hips, really nice and engaged. It's not stiff, not locking everything in, but it's just engaged. You're just being aware that you need to keep it nice and still. And then that's your engine. Then you get down to your pistons, which are kicking out, pulling back. And it's all about kicking your bum with your heel. And that's how we do it. That's what we do. Kicking out, pulling back, and using that quad, your glute, your hamstring, getting everything involved. 10 seconds time. Using everything we learned just then, we take it into another minute. Trying to hit about 90, maybe a touch higher. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Here we go. We've got another 20 seconds here. Remember to think about everything that I just said. Really keep that core engaged. Keep it nice and strong. We're only going to have a short break before we get a little stand up. Before we get to test out your climb. We're just going to do a minute of climb. Not yet. I'm going to give us a little break out of this. 2, 1. Nice. Putting it back. Short break. Take it up. Find your resistance 4. Find that. That should be heavy. That should be heavy. We're going to stand it up. We're going to go for what we know is going to be tough when we get into those long sections. But let's stand it up, test it out. 60 seconds. Let's do it. So now just to check in with this technique now. So now those elbows are in again. You got that chest down a touch, but your hips are back. So your hips are hovering just over that seat. And now we're climbing. Eyes on the prize. As we climb it up, but this is just your tester. This is just your little tester. We're gonna get into your main sections, your long bits, in a bit. Just as we build it up now. Give me 10. Woo! 3, 2, 1. Sit down. Grab some water. we get ready. So that was your little tester. That was a little 1 minute. And also that is a 15 minutes. Done, team. We know what this means. It's now time to get into it. And we're in that heavy resistance 4. Hence why I'm cycling so slowly. This time we crack on with a long section, our team. How long do you reckon it's going to be? 1, 2 minutes, 3, 4? Nope. 5 minute climb. Constant. Yeah, you heard. Team, we smile. We do this. We get ready to go. Everyone's feeling it. We go for this in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I remember you are in resistance 4.
Now lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again.
Here we go. So,
I wake again. I pray the Lord that
with this one, team,
lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that
I don't want you to think about each one.
I wake again. I pray
Just I don't want you to think about that entire 5 minutes. I want you to sort of just break it down into little sections. Or, as another option, you can think about the entire thing. But with these ones, because it's endurance, because they're long sections, you can sort of get lost into them. Get lost into the vibe of the music. Get lost into the climb. At times you can close those eyes and grind it out. But remember, as I said before, as I said during that sort of warm-up, I want you checking in with yourself. I want you checking in with your body. Physically, when you check in, I want you to think, am I working at about 75%? If you're cruising, super easy. If you're working at like 55, 60%, you got to kick it on. You got to take that resistance up. But then you also got to think about mentally and how you're doing emotionally. And are you getting where you want to be by the end of the class? That's something you can answer, or that's something at least you can explore during these long ones, during these long periods. Nice. So we stay nice and strong. Remember, we think about that technique. It's about sinking back into those glutes. Just think about that hill that we're climbing. Hills are tough. Don't get me wrong. But when you get to the top of them and you see that beautiful view, that's what we work towards. The reward of getting to the top. And right now, I'm sort of chilling at about 60. Because I know that I put on loads of resistance. And that I know I'm not even halfway in this climb. And also, more importantly, I know I've still got a lot left of this class. We've still got about 25 minutes left of hard cycling, of hard riding. So why blow out now? And you think of this sort of intensity, it's all about sort of accelerating into it. So literally and metaphorically. Yes, Mahmood. How we doing? Yo, yo, yo. Cool, 2 minutes left of this climb. And we know what this endurance game is all about. This is all about limited breaks and working at that slightly lower intensity. So if you're completely out of breath now, you're not sort of working at that intensity. If you've got a heart rate monitor, which you may or may not do, you want it to be about 75% of your maximum. Not 75 beats per minute, 75%. Or maybe a touch lower. Because then when you hold that constantly for half an hour, just over half an hour, post that warm up, that's when it becomes tough. So we keep it strong now. Just over a minute left. Woo! Strong work. Yes, tough. But yo, we got it. Another minute here. And then we get to get those legs spinning out. Then we get to let those legs fly. And that's the rewarding thing. That's the thing that we like. Because if you get to the top of the hill, if you get to the top of the mountain, there's only one way to get down. There's only one way to get down, and that is with a bit of speed. So that's when we get those jet boosters on. And we drop ourselves down into resistance 1. And we fly down that hill. And obviously it's not going to take us as long. So we head into a 2-minute speed endurance round. So we drop it all the way down to resistance 1. It's going to feel good. And we let those legs fly. 8 seconds. Resistance 1. Give me some speed. In. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And that's going to feel nice. That's going to feel like something special. And we do this for 2 minutes. And it's super easy to build up some speed, some really fast speed. In resistance 1. For like 30 seconds or even a minute. 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a different story. We just get in this. Remember, you got to check in with that technique. Making sure you're not wobbling around with it, bouncing around with it. We don't want that. When you're staying strong with it. Coming into the halfway mark of the speed endurance. Stay in this pace. Remember, this is resistance 1. This should be easily in that yellow zone. So let's all bring it up there. Let's all bring it up there. Oh yeah. Tough stuff. Another 30 seconds here. Good, good, good. Look at you using those big emojis. Look at you controlling that. "15 seconds. You know what we do? We go straight back to that climb. We've made it to the bottom now. So we've got to climb again. I'm not going to tell you how long yet. 3, 2, resistance 4. Straight up there. Let's go. Straight into it. And yes, it says 2 minutes above us. But we're doing double that time. Look, we've already done our 4-minute. We've already done our 5-minute climb and our 2-minute speed endurance. Now we go for a 4-minute climb and a 3-minute speed endurance. Woo! Look at that, very clever. We're flipping it around. And then this is going to be the structure. This is going to be how we play it. We're taking our time from the climb and we add it onto that speed endurance. So depending on which one you like better, we're basically doing the same amount of time on both of them, which is good. It plays to everyone's strengths, but also tests out everyone's weakness. And that's what we like. We like to test each other out. So remember, this is a 4-minute climb. Good, good, good. We're back into that climb. Remember, we check in with that technique. We check in with the body. We check in with how we're feeling. I want to know how you're feeling. Feeling strong? Feeling good? That's what I like to see. That's the sort of mood I'm in. Party mood. Cool, that's halfway in the climb. Making sure you were staying on that technique the entire time. So remember, that technique is all about putting in those glutes. And it's not about shaking either side. It's not about going for that. We don't want to see that. It may look good. It may look like you're in the Tour de France. That ain't what we're going for. No. This is about working that core. It's about keeping everything strong and aligned. 90 seconds to go, and then we get that speed endurance. Woo. Let's go, Motosumo, staying strong with it. The moment you feel like you're dropping off that pace, remember, the moment you feel like you're coasting or you're taking it a little bit too easy, that's when you need to check in and change that. Because we don't want that. We want you staying strong with this. We want you pushing through with this. 20 seconds, we get to sit it down, and that's the fun bit. At least for me, I prefer that. Mainly because this is slightly more challenging. And you need to challenge yourself sometimes. This 4-minute climb has been tough. We would have done 9 minutes of climbing so far, and we ain't done yet with that climbing. But we get 3 minutes of speed endurance coming up in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Bring it down, resistance 1. Good song for the speed endurance run, eh? Keep that pace up, keep it light. Keep pushing through. Woo! This is sweaty stuff now as well. So we're 3 minutes here. Little 3-minute section now. And we're getting there. And we're feeling good. And by getting there, I mean with about 15 minutes left of hard riding, in a 45-minute class overall, I've called that a big old chunk. But remember what I said about the sort of intensity we work at. If you see the state of how much I'm sweating right now, you know what I mean? And by that I mean, when you work at slightly lower intensity, say you have a marathon pace, this is what I always compare it to. You may or may not have done a marathon, but if you've done a marathon, you know you'll have like a marathon pace. If you run a 5K at a marathon pace, that'll be super easy for you. But if you're on your marathon pace over a whole marathon, that's tough. So it's about that slightly lower intensity over a long period of time. And we're in that long period of time. We've already done coming up to half an hour of constant riding. And this is when it should get that little bit more challenging. That sort of switch is turned in which you're like, all right, okay, this is getting a little bit more challenging. Something we accept, something we deal with. Big, all right. We've got the next climb coming up. It's a 3-minute climb. Only 3 minutes. And I'm aware that we haven't really taken a break. But that's the point of it. If you're doing a marathon, you wouldn't take breaks. You wouldn't do intervals. You wouldn't do sprints. Standing up, 3, 2, 1, resistance 4. Let's go. Three minutes now. Oh, yes. And let that music echo how you are feeling. So let's do it. Big tune. Yo, let this take your mood somewhere. Another time to check in. And this time, this should make you feel empowered. Come on. It's a little intense. What else do you need than this guiding you towards the end? Oh, yes. Big 90 seconds left of this climb. And remember, we've just gone between those extremes. That's what I like. That's why I like this class. Because you go between that heavy climb and that speed endurance. Right, 45 seconds. We got a 4-minute speed endurance. A lovely little 4-minute speed endurance team. And then we come into our last stage. The last stage of the Tour de France. That type of thing. Where we get excited. Coming into that 4-minute speed endurance team. In 8 seconds, we take it down. And then we mix it up. And then we mix it up. 2, 1, let's go. And we build it up. 4 minutes here. Woo! Team, we're coming close to our final 10 minutes as well. Oh, and that is when you need to change that switch in your head, especially after a 45-minute class. Of being like, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna push this. And that's what we're aiming for. That's what we do here. Go on. Bang, halfway. Another 2 minutes here. You give me some real speed now. Don't drop off. Remember that pace, we want to be in those high yellows. If you're in that red zone, you push yourself in that red zone. This is more about effort scales than exact numbers here. And remember, because we've done them for so long, we've done both of them for so long, you should roughly know your number. We are trying to hit. Oh, this is getting sweaty, team, and we are in that final 10 minutes. We are in that final 10 minutes, team. It is that purple zone. It is that go time. And we take it all the way to the end. We take it all the way to the end. I'm sweaty. I'm sure you're sweaty. Legs are feeling it, remember. That sort of lower intensity, we're still working. If you just did this resistance one at this speed for 2 minutes, you'd be fine. But it's like the culmination of everything, of joining it all together, is the thing that makes it tough. Team, we're in that final section. I still want to get that 2 minute climbing. So we're gonna get that 2 minute climbing. It's only gonna be 2 minutes, and I've said that over and over again. But now we see if we can up that intensity a touch. Standing up, 3, 2, 1. I should be able to ensure that you guys are popping yourself in that real resistance 4 and that real resistance 1. Things we've gone between them so many times. So right now we are in that super heavy. Remember, I'm popping myself in that sort of 60 mode. And I'm feeling it. And it's not easy, especially after all this time. We get that push and we work hard. This is us on those bikes. Nice little team working towards that finish line, and we are close. Check in with yourself. Do it again. Check in with your mood, your legs, your body, your spirit, your emotions. Check in with all of them. How are they? Tip top? Tired? Everything's allowed. You're allowed to feel what you want. But I'm just hoping you come out of this to the other side, feeling rewarded, feeling empowered. That's how we want to be. That's how you want to be. That's how I want to make you be. Our final section is going to be spent in resistance 3. A final 3-minute power zone push. Because that resistance 3 is that perfect power zone to hold that onto it. It's going to be a final 3 minutes. And it's going to hurt. And it's going to challenge. But it's going to be something special as well. Sitting down. Resistance 3, so just take yourself down a little bit for these final 3 minutes, team. And we go for that in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. Final 3 minutes. Woo. You know what, team? I'm taking that song back to the beginning. If there's any song that's gonna get you going, just give me that one, It's really gonna be that one. We've got 2.5 minutes left and then you're done. You're not quite off the bike, but you're down into resistance 0. So right now, oh yeah, we are riding it. We're taking it through, sweat's real. Dripping. Whew. Proves at 30 hours. 2 minutes left, take that resistance up. Give me a little burst. Do it. What's the worst that can happen? It's a bit harder. That's what we're doing here. That's exactly what we're doing here. Not what we're doing here in general in life, or even this class, but that's what we're doing in this final finish here. And we add again. You ready? Ready? Let's do it. 90 seconds. Woo. To get you there. To get you there, baby. So we do it. We go all the way. Final minute. Final addition. Not quite, but we add. Let's go. Everything now, team. We take off. We take it to the end. We push it to that very last point in which we can't push anymore. In 10 seconds time, we make that final addition, and you can do whatever you want. You can stand it up, you can sit down, you can sprint finish. As long as you give me something. As long as you give me something, then I am happy. We add in 3, 2, 1. Motosumo, let's go. This is what it boils down to. Moments like these, where it's make or break, fight or flight. Everyone's got that final. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit your resistance 0. Keep them legs moving around. Now I just want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Breathe deep. Now you check in again. Now you ask yourself, how are you doing? Physically, emotionally, spiritually. You feeling good? If not, you're just feeling tired. That's temporary. Things like this, movement and general exercise makes us feel good. It's just a no-brainer. Scientifically proven, boosts your mood, makes you happy. I certainly feel happy. I feel happy in general, but I also mainly feel happy that it's over because it was tough. And it is over because you got there, you made it to the end. So well done. We need to stand up. Push those heels down. Push your bum back. And get into those ankles, those calves. For 3, 2, 1. Spin around the other way. Do that same thing. Oh. 3, 2, 1 from there. Just because the mood's nice and low now, I want to say thank you so much, team. Thank you for joining me on this ride. Thank you for bearing with me, for checking in with yourself. But I want you to do that constantly. I want you to say that out of class. It's worth being introspective and checking in with yourself. Checking in with others as well. But that's something we can get into another time. Thank you so much, team, for joining me, making sure you're pressing pause and save on your workout and making sure you're also finding us on socials. You can compare yourself to others once you click pause and save, and making sure you can check in with us and ask us any questions that you want to. But team, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on Motosumo, because you guys are amazing. My name is Ben EP. You're legends, guys. I will see you later.